Hello, and welcome to the Pets World Speaks. Today, Tuesday, April 9th. I'm guessing. I have no idea really. But that's what we're going with. How's that sound to you? Sounds good to me. This is episode 104. I wrote that part down. I'm your hostess, Amy Beth, also known as the Fat Squirrel on Ravelry, and the Fat Squirrel, that's SQRRL, on Instagram. Hi, how are you? If you're new, welcome! If you're returning, welcome back! You both get jazz hands. It's so exciting. So I haven't recorded in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, what happened? I don't know. That was totally unplanned hiatus. We did have spring break, which I was like, oh yes, we're around that. But it was like spring break coinciding with like rainy weather, which meant my husband and my child were here. I've said it before, but some of you are new, so I'll just pretend it's for the new people. It's just because I say the same thing over and over again, okay? It is really hard for me to record when there are people in the house. Not only because like it makes me feel self-conscious, but also because like I knew this week we had prizes and stuff to do, and like that does take a certain amount of bandwidth to like try to get that set up. Not that it takes it, but you know, to like check to make sure you didn't like accidentally make multiple posts or, you know, do something crazy. So I gotta check all that. It was just like, so that was happening and then the child was happening. And then I was like, okay, well I'm gonna skip this week, but I'll do it next week. And then the next week, the allergens hit. And I was disgusting and my face runneth over with snot. And I felt fine, so I don't need any pity. I felt as fine as you can when your nose is running off your face. But I didn't feel bad. It's just that time of year. But so I thought I would not subject y'all to the wonderfulness of my wonderfulness at that time. So I apologize. I just realized the camera is migrating because I have it plugged in to charge. So I was afraid that like slowly the way of the cord, we're going to end up way over here. So anyway, I apologize I didn't record. It just means you had extra time to enter your gratitude count prizes. So many of you did, yay. We'll do prizes today. I have literally mountains of things to talk about. It's ridiculous. Some would say it's redonkulous. That's how ridiculous it is. I'm telling you, it's crazy. We have shenanigans, of course. Okay, so the show is gonna have shenanigans. It's gonna have a thank you. It's going to have knitting and spinning, but only finished objects this time. Because really, it would be a 7-hour show. Not really, but I mean, come on, let's not be crazy. And then it'll also have, did I say we have prizes? I think I said that. It'll have, I bought all the yarn in the world, continued from the Pipeliner retreat. And it will also have some shameless self-promotion. Shenanigans! Actually, that's a lie. No, it's totally not a lie. Shenanigans! Okay, so there's just too many shenanigans. I can't even tell you about them all. But I will tell you, we did many things on spring break. We did go to the zoo, which was super fun. Actually, I think that happened before spring break. Yeah, it did, because we had snow makeup days. We were supposed to have 2 weeks of spring break because Tova's on year-round calendar, which means they have like 2 weeks for fall, 2 weeks for winter, 2 weeks for spring, and then 2 months, not quite, for summer. But they had like a whole week of snow days and maybe a few more this year because we all know winter of doom, da-da-da. So she had to make up 2 days at the beginning of her spring break. And I actually did send her. So I know I'm a mean mom. So that was weird, and like that kind of was like wonky and weird. But anyway, we went to the zoo, and nothing much happened to the zoo. It was like very chill, except we're getting orangutans. Have I told you about this yet? Oh, I totally wish I had a picture of them. They sent us the thing in the mail because we're zoo members, because we're dorks. Whatever. They sent us a thing. Okay, I love orangutans in an insane way. They've been working on our orangutan, like, exhibit, enclosure, what do we call it? I don't know. Environment. That sounds good. They've been working on our orangutan environment for a little bit, for about a year-ish. Maybe a little bit more. And they're opening the exhibit in May of 2014. I think, yes, I believe that's correct. So I'm very excited about the orangutans. The exhibit's looking really intense. They have like all these things where the orangutans kind of like climb around up in the sky. There's gonna be like some weird monorail thing which looks very touristy, but whatever. I'll totally be riding it because it better be like covered in orangutan treats. Like it better just have things that they love taped all over it so they'll come and visit. Just saying. That better happen, zoo officials. Anyway, so that was exciting. So it's exciting to see that being built. It's kind of taking up a huge part of our zoo, and our zoo is super tiny. Whatever, they know what they're doing, I guess. Oh, but so then the other thing that happened is Tova loves to feed the budgies. Tova is my daughter, if you're new. She's 7. She just turned 7 in, like, wintertime. I don't know why you need to know that, but there you go. So she loves to feed the budgies. We have 2, like, bird encounter kind of walk-through exhibity things. And one of them has like approximately 7 million budgies in it. And they like fly around. And they give you this little like skinny popsicle stick with like bird seeds stuck onto it with some delicious gooey bits. I don't know. And you can just hold it out and they'll like land on your hand, or they'll land on the bird, or they'll land on the stick and eat the bird seed. And it's exciting. It's magical. So she loves it. Well, it's too cold for the budgies right now. But they do have the lorikeets. Lorikeets are in a different building. And they have like guinea fowls and some other crazy, like larger birds. And it's a bigger walkthrough. But you can feed the lorikeets nectar. And this is a thing that happens at all lots of zoos. I'm sure you know about it. Okay, lorikeet tongues are freaky. Have you ever seen a lorikeet tongue? Freaky. They're a bird that's like, that might be an exaggeration. Okay, they're probably like that big. So they're like a small parrot-y kind of bird. Do you know I know nothing? I know nothing, right? But they're like this biggish. They're in the ballpark of that. They're like as tall as my head, kind of. But not really. They're definitely smaller than that. Okay. They're maybe like that big. Whatever. But they drink nectar. They don't eat seeds. So their tongues are freaky. Their tongues, are black, which is, I'm not going to lie, it's always creepy when there's black tongues. I'm sorry, it's creepy. If you have a black tongue, I don't think you're creepy, but your tongue is a little bit creepy. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're a lovely person. Anyway, I will die of embarrassment if somebody actually has a black tongue. That is not a thing I know of that it can happen. But if you have that, you feel free to write me some hate mail right now. Because I didn't know that thing could happen, and I just said it like flip in like now you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're the most horrible human in the world. And quite frankly, I am. I'm a terrible human. So feel free to tell me. Oh man. Sometimes you just can't dig yourself out. I'm just gonna dig it deeper, so I'm just gonna let it go. So lorikeets. Okay, so they look like that. You can see this, right? They look like that. No, not videos. Images, please. Oh wait, there was like one lorikeet next to a shirtless hippie. Wait, when I was like flipping around to try to find the picture. Yeah. You can't really see it very well because I had to blow it up. So that's about how big a lorikeet is. I'm not sure the scale of the shirtless hippie, but there you go. FYI. Oh, Google. You're so fabulous. I keep trying to shrink it, and in fact, I'm just closing it. I'm too... So, I don't really care about their lorikeet. Okay, tongue. Let me see if I can see a picture of their tongues. So their tongues are like kind of big, but also they have like this. No, these ones aren't all black with their tongues. Ooh, isn't that interesting? Not all of them have black tongues, apparently. There's no good picture. That's creepy. I can't even show you that one. That's so creepy. It's like an NC-17 tongue. So they have like this weird brush apparatus. Yeah, you can't see it there. But they have like a brush apparatus on the end of their tongue because they have to drink, their natural food is flower nectar. So they have to be able to like lap that up more efficiently than just with like a plain old tongue. So the reason this is so startling is because A, you're not prepared. And then B, you have this like very small clear cup and there's like a lorikeet right there and they're sticking their tongue in it and it's totally creepy and weird. Also, they also try to bite you. I'm not lying. And they poop on you. Totally poop on you. They pooped on me. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Because my daughter loves the budgies and she's fascinated with the fact that they will actually land on her. That's like a thing that kids are fascinated by. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not judging her. Like, that is cool. But the lorikeet is significantly bigger. And I don't know if you saw in the picture, it has like this very hooked beak, which is very, very sharp. And so she keeps sticking her finger out in front of the bird, hoping that it will hop onto her finger because she's holding the nectar here. Okay, that's a logical thing. But these birds are a little bit grumpier than the budgies. And they keep poking her finger. And she's like, ah! You know, and I'm like, oh, she's totally overreacting, right? Bad mom. Because she's been known to overreact to pain stimulus. Just saying. Just saying. So I'm like, well, stop putting your finger out there. If they're pecking you with their beak, don't do that. But she just can't help herself. She can't help herself. Keeps doing it. So I'm like, fine. So I'm like, I'll just take one for the team and try to get one on my finger and then I'll put it on her finger. I stick my finger out and that stupid lorikeet drew blood. So I'm trying to like not bleed all over everything because A, I'm embarrassed I've been wounded by a bird. I mean, that's kind of embarrassing, right? They're birds. They're not like the most formidable creatures in the animal kingdom. I have been wounded. B, I'm afraid of like I have fantasies of like some hazmat lockdown where there's gonna be like metal sheeting that comes down around the whole lorikeet enclosure. And like there's gonna be people that are like, oh my gosh, you've killed the lorikeet with your human blood. Because I really don't think I have, or I would have said something. He just poked me. He didn't like poke me and then proceed to lap up my blood with his weird sponge tongue. Okay, so I'm just saying. Like, I really didn't think I hurt the lorikeets. He hurt me. But anyway, neither here nor there. I'm not actually worried about their safety or my own, but I'm just, like, I have the fantasy, you know? Like, mind just immediately goes to you running into the retaining wall and your car exploding. It's like that. So the things just come down in my mind. And then there's like hazmat, there's like all these angry people at me that were like, why did you put your finger in front of the lorikeet? Clearly you should have known better. And I'm like, there was no sign. So anyway, so this is going on in my head. So I'm like trying to hide the fact that I'm bleeding everywhere. I'm not really bleeding everywhere, but it's my finger. You know how it bleeds? It just bleeds. You can't help it. So I'm like wrapping my sleeve around it like, yeah, clearly I walk around like this all the time. At the same time that my child is like still putting her finger in front of them, I'm like, okay, now actually one of them might break your tiny little pencil finger off because clearly there's power there that I was not aware of. So then I'm trying to like shoot one onto my arm. So then she finally gets it onto her hand. Is she satisfied with one? No, she wants more. She keeps trying to shoot, like she's hoarding them. What is wrong with her? So finally I had to accidentally spill the nectar to get us out of there alive. And of course we get out and my daughter's like, also like, so the whole time that I'm bleeding and trying not to like bleed on anything and like I'm trying to like lorikeet whisper one onto my kid's hand so she can have like a meaningful memory. Gosh, there's so much pressure. So the whole time I'm doing that, I'm also trying to like make sure she's not standing directly under a lorikeet because evidently nectar is metabolized very quickly by a bird's body. And there's just poo everywhere. I mean, not like, it's nectar poo. It's basically water. I mean, come on. I'm not like afraid of it. it's not like a Fear Factor episode. I'm not like, ah! I'm just like, I don't want it to literally, like, I just don't want to have the scene of it pooping on me or my child, and then one of us overreacting. Definitely her. Not me. So I'm trying to, like, get her, like, so she's trying to get the bird, but then I'm also trying to, like, look out for all the other birds, because there's branches coming at. I'm really surprised that everybody's okay with the birds pooping on them. Like, I am okay with the birds pooping on me, but I know a lot of people who would not be okay with the birds pooping on them. And I guess they just don't go there. I guess they would know that the birds could poop on them, and they just would not go in there. But I was kind of surprised by that. I mean, it's not like I thought they were going to wear diapers, but still, it was a little confusing. Anyway, so the whole time, so while I'm trying to make sure she does not get pooped on, of course, I totally get pooped on. Not my actual person, just my bag. Like, I had a messenger bag on. We get out, my daughter's like, Mom, you got poop on you! Like, there's just, like, human feces just spread out. It's like an eyedropper full of lorikeet waste. I'm not even calling it poo. It's like milky water. if that's an exaggeration. If you're new, this is really how it always is. If you were horrified by any part of that, don't come back. Because really, that's the true me. Oh, sorry. So we did that. That was super fun. Then we also, some other point, we played a lot of Frisbee this week. Because it finally got a little bit warmer here and a little bit less rainy. So we played Frisbee a lot. I don't know why. It's really the only sport my husband is interested in playing. I am not interested in playing sports, but I'll play sports with like a 7-year-old because that just means shoot the basket. Like shoot the basketball. It's not actually like sports. So like I can do that. But the only thing he's really ever been interested in doing is playing Frisbee. He's such an old hippie, it's ridiculous. So we played Frisbee a lot, and I had lots of fun. And we had lots of fun. I was injured. And like by Frisbee, I mean, like we're jumping. I'm jogging. Loosely, we could call that jog. So my ultimate assessment of Frisbee as sport as a fat lady is that I am okay with Frisbee as a fat lady. There may be a YouTube video of me out there running. I don't know. I don't want to know. If you find it, please don't tell me. However, and I'm okay with the jumping to get the Frisbee. I'm not a dog. I'm not like graceful and high jumping, but I mean, I can off the ground a little bit. So we discovered that I'm fine with all these things except the landing. You get all sassy because you're out there, you're being fat, you're catching Frisbees, you're running around, and you're like, ooh, I'm fat, but I can do all this stuff. And then the next day, your body's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have done all that landing. Jumping was fine. Landing, ow. Because now your ankles are all wackadoo. Whatever, we played more Frisbee aside. What else did we do? Oh, we went on like tiny vacation. We went for a weekend into Nashville, Indiana. Not Tennessee. Which is like an artist colony. So we walked around a lot. Not a lot. That's a lie. We walked around a little bit. We had grand plans to hike a lot in the park, but it rained so much. Our water table is secure here in central Indiana. But I got to see a cute little yarn store called the Clay Pearl. I'll show you what I bought there. Do you want to see it? So she was very cute. Her shop is like the size of my dining room. Yeah, that's not an exaggeration. I'm looking to make sure that I'm not being hyperbolic. It may not be as big as my dining room, and I don't have a big dining room. Yeah, it's tiny, but it's really cute. And she was very personable. Her shop is called the Clay Pearl. She does some of her own hand dyes. She had a cute selection. She had a pretty decent little selection. Some shock yarn, some opal. different kinds of sock yarn. And she had like a good worsted weight, like regular old wool selection, which was really pretty colors. And she had some kits, and she had some funky, weird yarn. And she's like, again, for a tiny little shop, she was just very cute. So this is her shop, the Clay Pearl. This is their yarn. It's called Our Yarn. And it's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon blend. And it's 463 yards. And this one is called Army. She had lots of very like colorful ones, but I don't ever know what to do with those. So I like something less colorful. So a little bit of green, a little bit of gray. I like it. It's called Army, and it's what you would think of. But then I also bought this, which I'm very excited about. This is Frog Tree's Petaboo. It's listed as a fingering weight, but I think it's a sport. I mean, maybe it's a heavy fingering, but it's 80% merino superwash, 20% bamboo, 100 grams is 255 yards. It says it's 8 stitches the inch, but I think it would be like iron if you did. Anyway, isn't that lovely? Does it say what colors, or are they just numbers? Just numbers. Look at that! You know what this is going to be? One of the hats from Toasty. Totally going to be one of those. It's like that. It looks more white here, but it's more buffy in real life. Not the Vampire Slayer, just as in buff. Close to beige. I love it. It's so soft and so squishy. Pretty excited about it. So there's that. That's enough shenanigans, right? Oh my gosh, we're at 21 minutes. So enough shenanigans. Anyway. Okay, I'll finish up talking about what I got at the retreat, and I have a thank you. So. Oh, I already made something with that part. Like, where's that other skein? Oh, it's already made into something. So, the lovely Sun Valley Fibers was there. Oh my gosh, she is so cute. Why are people so cute? Anyway, she is a lovely human being, and she makes beautiful yarn. So, can't get better than that. She is Sun Valley Fibers. This is her 100% BFL Superwash. It's a DK. It's 230 yards per skein. And this is Stormy, the colorway. I bought this because the lovely Missy. She's so fancy. I feel wrong calling her by her first name. But Missy. Had her baby trunk show, her baby sweater trunk show. And I had a baby sweater that I needed to make for a family member, not for myself. Simmer down. And so I had every intention of using this to make said baby sweater because it was for a boy, and I just didn't feel like I had anything right that was right. I looked and looked and looked. I just felt like I didn't have anything right. So every intention I had was to make this into a baby boy sweater, but then I made something totally different. So there you go. I'm not disappointed that I get to keep this for myself. Not disappointed at all. So then I also got, I told you last time that I got from A Riot of Color, that green yarn I made my hat with. I'll show you that in a little bit. But then I also got the Johnny Jump Ups, which you have also seen on Malia Rhymes with Maria and Diane Knittable's podcast. Because, hi, look at that. It's so exciting. And it was really like, oh my god, it's called Johnny Jump Ups, and it looks like Johnny Jump Ups, and we need spring right now. The blue is reading much brighter. It's more of a purpley royalness in real life. So I got to. It's an 8-ply DK. Superwash Merino. I think it's a DK. I'll go with DK. So you get a chance to win, not this colorway, but a skein of this as part of the Gratitude Cow, which I'll show you when I do prizes. Because she gave us the prize. Thanks. Did I say it was from A Riot of Color? I feel like I did, but then I feel like maybe I lied. And you can't see that. But anyway, it's A Riot of Color, which is ariotofcolor.etsy.com. A Riot of Color, which you can't see. I'm just holding it there for nothing. Then I have a thank you. Now, lots of times, well, not lots of times, when I receive gifts, I don't always talk about it on the podcast because it it makes me feel braggy and weird. I'll just be honest with you. So if you ever want to send me a gift, that is lovely, and I would love to have it, and I will be very appreciative and thank you fullness. But I won't necessarily announce it. So if your motivation is to not, and that's when I say it that way, it sounds like I'm trying to say that, I'm not trying to say that, but just, I don't always announce them because it makes me feel weird. And I'm like, look, people love me! It feels weird. That was the most horrific sounding noise in the world. I still have allergies. We'll just pretend it's that, and not that that was the most horrible noise ever. Because it was. Sorry, dogs and cats of the world. Anyway, so anyway, it just makes me feel weird, so don't always announce it. And so, please don't ever feel like I've just, like, forgotten you and I don't care. It's not that at all. Now, that said, I will mention this gift that I got because it's related to the coop and it's the toasty that I'm doing so many patterns from. So I feel like I need to tell you about it because it's so exciting. It's a new to me yarn. It's in fact the yarn that all of the hats in the book are knit with. And Jeanette, who is Finesk? I don't know her. She totally sent me a skein. Her LYS has it. And it came with this bag. I don't know if this is traditional. I think this is not. I think I got a surprise. I think I got an extra prize. But the brand is Bahram U. Look at how cute that little bag is. Oh. The brand is Bahram U. And this yarn is Titus. Oh. I wonder why I love this. It's like the hair color I want to have. Oh, shut up. It is 70% British wool and 30% UK alka, also known as alpaca. And then the 50% UK wool is a blend of Wensleydale and BFL. Yes. So normally when I hear Wensleydale, I'm like, ooh, no, this is very lovely. I don't know if it's just because it's tempered by the BFL and the alpaca, but it's lovely. It's 350 yards per 100 grams. And the recommended needle size is 2.75 to 3.25 millimeter. This is the Parkin colorway. Oh, it's going to be hot any minute now. Look at that. So thank you so much. I love it. So again, this is what the all of the hats in Toasty are knit with. And so there are several retailers in the US that are carrying this yarn. It's very exciting. Yay! Okay. Well, that's that. Okay, so let's talk about knitting and spinning. Okay, first I'll talk about spinning. Sorry. Okay, okay, no, I'm lying. I'm just going to put some stuff away because everything's getting a little crazy up in here. I just totally knocked you over again. I'm sorry. I also received some other gifts for the podcast, some spinning fiber from Fondant Fiber, which I'll talk about next week because there's so much to talk about this week. I didn't want it to get lost in the kerfluffle. Okay. Oh my lord, it's crazy. Crazy. Okay, so finished. Spinning. So, I had a bat. Oh my gosh, right? Could I just... I love you. I'm going to give you a hug. Just going to give you a little hug right here. Do you feel that? I love you. Giving you a hug. Okay. So this is one of the bats I got from Joanna Spring of the Knit Spin Farm podcast and of general all-around awesomeness. Right? Do you see this? It's all natural colors. She does colored bats too. But I couldn't help it. I needed this one. I couldn't help it. So I bought two because I'm a wool pig. So I spun. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I spun up one, and I had left it on. It's actually been, the singles had been spun for quite some time, but I had them on the bobbin. I just was not sure if I wanted to leave them as a single ply. I think that was my daughter. She may be coming down in a minute. She should be in bed. totally
Are
hear
you
it.
doing a podcast?
Yeah, I totally am. That's okay.
I'm gonna grab like a yogurt stick maybe.
Okay. Will I leave that in? I don't know. You don't have to be quiet. You already She's all stealthy now. Okay. So what was I talking about? Oh, so I had spun the single from that bat. And I was not sure if I was going to leave it as a single and then maybe like lightly full it, or if I was going to ply it together with thread, or if I was going to ply it. I didn't think after I got the single done, it was so lovely. I was afraid if I spun both the bats and then plied them together, it would be like overwhelming, that it wouldn't really showcase how lovely the fiber was. So I didn't think I wanted to do that, but I didn't know what to do, so I just hung out on the bobbin for a while. But then, of course, when I went to the Pipeliner retreat, Heritage Hill Farm was there, and I got this lovely ball that was bigger than this before. It was 8 ounces of her pin drafted Lester Longwool. This is her Juliet. Isn't that cute? From Heritage Hill Farm. Did I say that? I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So I decided, oh, it would be lovely. I could do this a little bit finer, which didn't end up happening. And I could ply them together, and it would be like slightly more subtle than plying it together with the rest of the bat. Then I could have like 6 ounces of gorgeous, I could have like double the amount of gorgeousness. And then there would be like all of the goodness of the Joanna plus the goodness of the people at Heritage Hill who were so good. So it just seemed like that was the thing to do. So this was lovely to spin. This is the Lester Longwool. Am I saying that right now? I feel like that's not even the right thing, but I feel like it is, maybe. So it's got a very long staple. Look at that. And it's super lustrous and shiny and gorgeous. It's so pretty. I think it would be very fun to spin as like a lace weight, because it has a lot of strength in it because the fibers are so long. It'd be very fun. But what I decided to do, okay, that's fine. What I decided to do is just, ta-da! I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll show you. So I applied those two together. I have a tendency, I prefer to overply just a little bit. I just like the way it looks. But I knew that I would be using this for some sort of like lacework cowl or something open and, you know, drapey and lovely. So I did not ply it as much as I normally would. And it worked well, I think. I hope. So hopefully it'll have some nice drape. It smells gorgeous. Anyway, I think it's very beautiful. It has a lot of textures. Oh, so one of the reasons too is I did not put enough spin in Joanna's bat to make it singles. Like I started to pull it off to wind on the skein winder and realized that no. I don't know how else to say it, but no. No. Oh, look at it. And there's a big clumpy bunch of silk in there. Right there. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. So anyway, I love it. Oh my god, it smells so good. So I plan on doing the remainder of it the same way, because I have the other bat and the other. But I didn't start it yet. I haven't decided for sure. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I think it's gorgeous. This is like 200-ish yards. And it's about 6... Is it about 6 ounces? I think it's about 6 ounces. So it's just fluffy and fat and squishy and good. Like somebody else I know. Why do I like it so much? Maybe. Okay, so anyway, so that's spinning. I have some other spinning on the wheel that I just started, but I'll show that to next week. All right. Finished objects of knitting news. Okay, you've seen these before. I'll show you these. I finished my, which now have long wool all over them. I finished my plain old Afterthought Heel Vanilla E The Life is Good colorway by the lovely Lollipop Yarn. Look at them. They're reading much more purple. Yeah. I don't know if that purple really stands out a lot on there. That's so weird. Okay, anyway. I totally dig them. It's freaking me out. Ta-da! So I did those on double zeros. I made them a little bit bigger circumference than I have been recently. And then just made them slightly shorter. I don't know why. I just wanted to see what that would be like. Well, because like the theory is like if you pull the sock this way, that fabric is much nicer. Like because it doesn't get ridgy. Then when you pull it this way, it gets ridgy, right? So I was like, well, maybe if I just make them a little bit bigger around, but slightly shorter, they won't feel like my toes are curling under my feet, which is not what you want at all. Uncomfortable. But, so they're not that much shorter. But then would also, yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. But anyway, they are lovely, enjoyable, and good. Afterthought heel, surprisingly stretchy bind off. That's how I roll, people. That's how I roll. So those are done. I'm back just teasing. Okay. So then, oh, another thing you've seen. So, last time I showed you the, what is that? I showed you my insane hair of insanity. There's Bobby. What the heck am I doing here? Look at, I know, I'm so pretty. Don't be jealous. It's okay. I'm so pretty. It's okay. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah, I need a haircut. Okay, so clearly I had to take a shower earlier and then put that in a clip because that's not that my hair looks any better than that normally, but wow, it's a super different kind of insanity. So last time I showed you from Coopnit's Toasty. And I apologize, last time I totally forgot. I think I may have forgotten to say the name of the ebook. The ebook is called Toasty. This is my Rapone. Do I look things up? No, I stink. R-I-P-I-O-N. R-I-P-O-N. I think I had an extra vowel in there. R-I-P-O-N. And it is written for the lovely orange. And in fact, this hat specifically isn't it in the orange, which might be why this is the first one I did. However, I chose to knit it in a riot of color. 100% superwash merino 2-ply. This is a one-of-a-kind colorway called Pine Forest. 400 yards. I had this much left. So it is a little slouchy, not super slouchy. And I think it's super cute. Right? Can you see? So the pattern, of course, the yarn I showed you is a solid. So it is photographed. This is obviously a semi-solid. And yes, you can see the motif better if it's solid. But I wanted to knit this sticking hat really bad. And I had this yarn. It just happened. And I needed a green, I need green things because it's that time of year. That's all I can say. I knit the hat, the brim on zeros and the body on the fat 2. I can't remember what size that is. The fat 2 though. Fat US 2. Excuse me. Which I think is roughly the size that was suggested in the pattern. And I am usually quite a loose knitter. So you may need to go up a few sizes if you are not. But oh my gosh, look how cute it is. Shut up. And it has very cleverly done top decreases, which I probably won't show you because I don't know that you'll be able to see. Don't be distracted by how pretty I am. You can kind of see. But very cleverly done. The expansion at the brim is very cleverly done. Look how pretty. There is no disjunction at all. It's very flowy and good and wonderful. I can't say enough things. You get a good amount of complexity from very few cabling charts. All around, it's a good thing. It's a good pattern. I don't know if I'm going to put it back on because I have another one to show you. I'm not even lying, kids. Not even lying. So then, I apologize. I'm also knitting. Oh, I also have knitted. Let's conjugate some stuff, people. The North Allerton hat. Also from Toasty. Also by Coop Knits. And this one is suggested, it's the color, again, it's the same, the Titus. And the colorway is gorgeous, and I just thought and didn't want to mess with it. I really liked it. It was yellow, and I don't have a lot of yellow things. I really like yellow, but I don't know how to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I kind of don't understand how to do yellow. But here it is, as is pictured. So I wanted to knit mine with quince. And so I knit mine with quince finch, which is the fingering weight, 100% wool, and they do American wool. And it's spun in New England. I knit mine with yellow as the Carrie's yellow, Bird's Egg is the light blue, and Fjord is the gray. And I had one skein of each. Let's try that again. I don't know how to put on a hat. It's a rather complicated thing. Oh my gosh, I totally did. I wove in the end on the right side instead of the wrong side. I was drunk. I actually may have been drunk. Now that I think about it. That was supposed to be a joke, but that actually may be some alcoholic knitting right there. So, here is mine. It's much slouchier than the other. I can't judge. It's hard to judge. Okay. It has a giant pom-pom. Don't you love the pom-pom? Are you excited about it? I love it. It's so festive. I can't see it. I'm trying to sneak up on it. Like, if I just go really slowly, I'll see it. It doesn't work that way. So, let's see. What am I going to say? Oh, in the pattern, as written, that's a good look. That's my tam o' shanter. As the pattern is written, this top, the decreases are actually in this color, which I do prefer the look of. I think it adds a good continuity, bookendiness. However, I did not have enough because the quince is only a 50-gram skein versus the 100-gram Titus skein. So I had one skein of each color, and I would not have had enough to do the top and the dark gray because really I used all of it when I did the pom-pom. So I had quite a bit of the Carrie's yellow. I'd say probably half a skein, and a lot of the blue, because again, you just have these two little bands, and then I did the top and the pom-pom. Right. Super cute. If you wanted to, you could double up the brim or something if you didn't want it to be as slouchy. Of course, then you'd be covering up color work, which would be totally bummery. But that's kind of cute, right? Shush. Did you see Susan B. Anderson's new hat pattern is out? I'm totally knitting that really quickly. Also out of quince. Ow! Or you could totally be Mushmouth, and that would also work for you. That's a good look. Should just do the rest of the episode like this. I missed out Proof Rules. I could have done it like that. Oh, it's so awesome. Anyway. Except I probably would have asphyxiated and passed out, and it was like a weird snuff film thing. Anyway. Okay. Let's try to move on without touching my face too much. Probably won't be successful. So there's that. Then I have one more finished object to show you. We'll do prizes. I promise we're doing prizes. Don't worry. This one you haven't seen yet. I told you I needed to do a baby thing. I knit the Vigo by Drops Design. It's a free pattern. Looks like that. It's a little sweater vest. By the way, I love that they put the ruler on the side of the page. Everybody needs to do that. It's brilliant. I know there could be scaling issues, but whatever. I knit mine with Knit Picks Stroll Tweed. This one is Autumn Heather. And these are 50-gram balls. They are 65% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 10% Donegal. 231 yards for 50 grams. And this one is Flagstone Heather. Are you ready for some cuteness? Are you ready for some cuteness? I'm going to lay it on you right now. Oh my God. Tiny things are magical. Because see, I was going to totally knit a sweater, but it's almost summer. Right? Ugh. I delayed too long. But so this, oh my gosh. But I can't be upset because look how sticky cute that is. Shut up. And I did this pattern almost exactly as was written. The only thing I did slightly different is they have you pick up a lot of ribbing around the edges, and I did not pick up as many stitches as they wanted. Because actually you cast on, this is free, right? I did the second smallest size, so I did the 6 to 9 month size. And you cast on, for this sample, this one you cast on 172, but then you decrease to 130. So you decrease 42 stitches on the first, like from the change from the ribbing to the stockinette, which I like because again, it doesn't need to pull in for a baby. That's crazy talk. So I love the way it looks, but I did not want to make that much ribbing around here because A, I was afraid it would flare out a little bit. And B, I just didn't want to knit that much. Shush. Don't judge me. I can't stop. So cute. There were a million ends to weave in. Now, not because of the stripes, really, but, you know, because the body is knit in the round. But then, of course, once you split off the front and back, you've got ends, and then you split these little things, you know, and you do the neck bind off. And the front, you got a million ends. Oh, that's the only thing I didn't do. I didn't actually bind off for the neck and the back of the neck. I just left the stitches live, and then because I didn't feel like it needed extra structure. And then, of course, you know, babies have giant noggins, so you got the buttons here so you can get their giant head in there. I have no idea if the parents are going to like this, but it was cute, so whatever. Put something cute into the world. That's all I can do. Anyway, so there's that. Okay, let's do prizes. Okay. Actually, let's do shameless self-promotion, and then we'll do prizes, because that way if you didn't enter the prize thread, whatever. That's my logic. I'm sticking with it. Okay, so I actually don't have finished bags to show you because I'm really behind. Surprise. But I do have a few things. I'll have fabrics and I'll show you. We are going to do 3 different fabrics. I'm doing 3 different fabrics. And you may have seen all of them before because they were originally at the Pipeliner retreat. So we're going to do the Van Goghs. Right? I think that's probably upside down. Whatever. We're doing the Van Goghs because it's springtime and we need that. We're also doing eggs because the Van Goghs are only the large wedge. The eggs will be available in all 3 sizes because hi, eggs. So exciting. And then we are going to do, I keep saying we, really? Whatever. Then I will also have a few of the steampunk bags that Laura Linneman, Lala of the Knit Girls, showed on her podcast. Okay. This bag is technically a large wedge, but it's a little bit deeper because just to get enough motifs on it. You know what I mean? And they're like dog blind banjo. Okay. He's my favorite. Just saying. And then also the one Diane showed on her podcast, Knittables. I like to call this my melancholy chicken. Oh, there's an egg. Melancholy. I love it. I think it was like an end paper or something. These are all spoonflower fabrics, so there is going to be a slight surcharge, additional charge. It's rather pricey, but awesome. This is the cotton linen blend, so it is technically a decorator weight. It's probably what you would, it's not like an upholstery weight, it's like a sheer, like you would make curtains with or something. But it has a nice hand to it, and I think it has a nice print quality. I don't have issues. The canvas, like the Doctor Who, I would occasionally have a nup or something where the fabric would have a little tiny slight pill in it, and when they printed the image, sometimes it would leave a white spot. I have not seen that on this fabric blend, so I think I'll probably stick with it. Yeah. So there's that. So those are going to go up Friday. That is April 11th. And then they usually ship out on Tuesday. I know it's kind of a long window, but I don't like to work on the weekends. I'm going to be honest with you. I always do, but it's too weird to pack orders. what else to say. There will be another update in April, but it'll be like on a Wednesday or something weird, right? Just for funsies. Just for funsies. It'll be bright, pretty spring fabrics. Okay, now we'll do prices. If you don't want to stick around, no problem. We'll see you next time. If you do want to stick around, let's talk about it. There were 220 entries altogether in the prize thread. The prize thread did say that you could only have one entry per person. Luckily, everybody I drew only had one entry, so I didn't have to deal with that. The other thing it did not say, which is my fault, the spirit of the cow was to knit something for yourself. However, I did not specifically say that in the prize thread, so I did not discount. Is that the right word? I did not disqualify anybody for saying otherwise, because I didn't say it explicitly in the prize thread, and so then I felt bad about being like, no, you can't have a prize. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's talk about prices. The first prize! And actually, all of these prizes this time, except one, were donated by viewers. Supported by viewers like you. It's true, we are. I say we because it feels like we're a we. It's all of us, right? But it does sound really weird. I'm sorry. Whatever. The first prize. Oh my gosh, right. Full nice off. You know how hard it is to give this away? I could have just pretended that it got lost through the mail. I could have pretended that. But oh my gosh, full nice off. If you don't know how fancy this is, I'm just saying you could de-stash it. It's fancy. Okay, the Wollmeise goes to number 203. Are you 203? You are if you're Bina Beanitz or Bina Beanitz or Bina Beanitz. I don't know, but that's you. Yay. 203. If you win a prize, please send me a PM on Ravelry. That's a private message. It's just a message. And please put in your subject line prize. That makes it easy for me to get addresses. You just send me your name, your human name, your actual human address, and your mailing address, and something else. Oh, it helps me if you tell me what prize you won. It just makes it easier for me, but you don't have to. I feel like there's one more thing. Usually it's about a week and a half to 2 weeks before prizes go out, because I like to hear from everybody and then send them all out at once. I just do. So there. Okay. Next prize. Okay. Okay, next prize. We have a book and yarn combo. So there's 2 prizes. One of you will get Sock Yarn One Skein Wonders, and one of you will get One Skein Wonders. One of you will get On Light in a 150 grams, and this is like a worsted, I think. It might be DK. It's 150 grams, 375 meters. Or a fingering weight. So you'll get one of those 2 books and one of these 2 yarns. I'm not really going to put them together because I figured you could just send me which one you would prefer to have, and hopefully you will each prefer to have different things. And if you don't, one of you is going to be slightly less happy. But maybe just a little bit. So one of those winners is number 99. Virginie 83. Virginie 83. Virginie 83. The other one goes to number 74. Who is spun right round. Shut up. She makes beautiful fiber. Just saying. Spun right round. So ladies, if you just want to tell me if you want, and this also is not 100% wool. This has some like elastic in it or something crazy. So you can tell me what blue. We'll call this brown, even though it's much more complicated than that, but just to distinguish it from blue. Just tell me which one you want. Blue or brown, and then tell me which one you want. One Skein Wonders or Sock Yarn One Skein Wonders. And hopefully you'll want different things. But if not, just saying. So yay. Okay, next prize is Blue Hawaii. And this is Serenity Yarn and Fiber. This is 100% superwash merino, and it's a heavy fingering, 350 yards. It feels really fun. So Blue Hawaii goes to number 196. Strider knits. Number 196, Strider knits. Okay. The next episode, the next prize, also by Serenity, also in the heavy fingering way, in the Miami colorway. Right? Don't let me bust out into song right now. It goes to number 7, who is Painter Mom, who is also the dyer behind A Riot of Color. I'm telling you, people, you're generous in the world, it comes back to you. Look at that, evidenced there. Also, at the Pipeliner Retreat, those of us who donated prizes because we were doing the vending, several of us won things. See, Karma. Look at that. So Painter Mom, just give me, okay, the next one is the same base, same yarn, Serenity, in the Romance colorway. So romantical. Kind of looks like strawberries. This one goes to number 135. Jess 2112 USA. That's her, and it was her third ever Ravelry post. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. So Jess 2112 USA, thanks for posting. Third ever post. What's up? That's all. One more. Then, aforementioned, A Riot of Color, who is A Riot of Color.etsy.com. Donated. She said I could pick, and of course I picked orange. This is also the 8-ply Superwash Merino. And this is her colorway, Carrot Top. That's right. Gingers unite. And this one goes to number 207. Is that right? Sheep Therapy. That's right. I was thinking of somebody else. I was like, that was not her picture. Sheep Therapy 207. That's actually you. You win. I was thinking of somebody else. Okay, so that's all. Oh my gosh, long as I shook the table terribly. Actually, it was a very long episode, but I was afraid it was going to be longer. Really? I know, it would have been crazy. So anyway, I hope you all have a week. Let me look at my notes really quickly. Oh, I forgot to mention some things. Let's mention them. Oops. I will be attending the Fiber event, which is April 19th. Actually, it's 18th and the 19th. It's a Friday and Saturday. I'll be there on Saturday. It's in Greencastle, Indiana. I'll be there. So if you're there, say hi. Also, I was thinking, we had a lovely viewer. I know, right? I can't help it. We're a group. Hush. A lovely viewer wrote in, and I haven't responded to her yet. I'm a bad person, as aforementioned several times. But I didn't even think about it. She asked if we would... It's late. Hush. TNNA is in Indianapolis this year. I live in Indianapolis, if you're new. TNNA is in Indianapolis. That's the... It's the trade show of knitting. I don't... It's in May, and it's in Indianapolis. So I was thinking, if you're coming, maybe we could do a meetup. If not... I will meet up with that one person and we will have dinner. But if more of you are coming, just putting it out there. And I will try to remember to put up a thread, but I might not. So feel free to put up a thread. You're allowed to do that in the group. Because we could totally have a meet up. And do it up. I don't know, maybe we could even talk to Mass Ave and see if we can meet. I don't know if she'll let us meet up there. We could also have the National Needle Arts Association. As soon as I said it, I was like, oh my gosh, what if I have gotten the abbreviation confused? And it's not even an abbreviation. But what if I've gotten the initials confused and it's actually some strange pornography convention that I'm actually saying instead of what it really is? And then that would be awkward. Just saying. Doesn't have to be. So anyway, if you're coming, you should, maybe we can meet up. I don't know, I'm just putting it out there. Anyway, that was all the things I needed to mention. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.